Would you go as far to say, in discussing SGA, that he is the face of the NBA? Like, would you go as far as to say that in that tired discussion, which really, really irritates me, that whole face of the NBA conversation? And do you know why? Because the face of the NBA is Michael Jordan.
Dang.
Like, that's what it is. And it's that way because nobody will let that go. And there's nothing wrong with that, but stop trying to manufacture, well, who's the face of the... It's Jordan. What do you mean? Like, that's who's everybody is compared to anytime a conversation comes up.
I'm going to disagree a little bit on that. Like, while I'll agree with the idea of, yes, whenever you're talking greatness, Jordan's name is generally the first one that comes up. It's generally the same 5 or 6 names that always come up. You know, it's Kobe, it's MJ, it's Wilt Chamberlain, it's Magic Johnson, it's Bill Russell. I mean, it's generally LeBron. It's generally the same names that come up. What I will say is right now, by default, I would just say by default, it's LeBron James. And it's LeBron James because, A, his body of work is strong enough to be in the conversation of greatest ever and be compared to what the face of the league has been historically, you know, at least in his era of time, which is MJ. But I think it's really because he wants to be the face of the league, which I think is very different than eras past. I think eras past, guys wanted to be the guy. I think Kobe wanted to be the guy. Shaq wanted to be the guy. You know, you look at these other guys, Akeem Olajuwon, you know, David Robinson, you know, you keep going back, you know, Pat Ewing and all those. They wanted to be the guys. They wanted to be the faces of the league. They wanted to be what they were going to be, Charles Barkley and all those guys, Penny Hardaway. Well, Penny Hardaway, not so much. Like, he was more kind of has a personality more like some of these newer guys. The newer guys, it doesn't seem like that's important to them. It seems like it's just more about just playing and whatever it is that they're interested in, whether it's music, whether it's fashion, you know, they're into being strip clubs, you know, guns,
listen,
you know, whatever it is. They seem to be okay with being really, really good basketball players. I would say Anthony Edwards wants to be the face of the league. There's a few guys that you'll see, they give you, I want to be face of the league. I don't get that from SGA.
Well, I don't
get that from Jokic.
But we don't. It just.
I don't get it from Luka.
It just feels manufactured in the NFL. Like, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. You know, like if we're talking about somebody on par with Jordan or whatnot as far as the titles and all that, Tom Brady's the.
But it's their accomplishments. It's his accomplishments that place him there.
Of course, but we don't have the, hey, who's the face of the NFL now? None of those conversations happen
because it's the accomplishments, though. If we didn't have Patrick Mahomes accomplishing at the level he's accomplishing at and achieving, we would have this conversation.
I don't think
if it's not Patrick Mahomes, who's the face of the league?
I don't care. I don't because I think I don't think the NFL needs a face of the league because the star is the league. Like, we always worried about what was going to happen if Brady retired or Peyton Manning retired. Are they going to find the next guy? I remember this being a conversation where, man, you know, Roethlisberger and Manning and Brady, these guys are going to retire. What's going to happen next? Oh, I don't know. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Like, the NFL does such a better job just rolling out star after star, and it's not about face of the league. The league is the star. And with the NBA, all you hear about is Michael Jordan. And that's fine, but let's stop trying to, hey, is SGA going to be the face of the NBA now? Who's the face of the league? No, the face of the league is Michael Jordan because that's all you keep hearing about when people discuss greatness in that league.
I feel like you got to have your main character, your face, and that's Patrick Mahomes. They can lean on Patrick Mahomes. The NFL can lean into Patrick Mahomes just like they were able to lean into Tom Brady and at times Peyton Manning. I really do. And again, like you say, face of the league. I mean, there are faces. There in the NFL, there have been faces, plural, of the league. And just mentioning those two names I just mentioned, I mean, there was a point in time where Joe Montana was the face of the league, but you didn't have to look any further than the guy he was throwing the ball to say he's the face of the league as well, and Jerry Rice. You had other quarterbacks around the league that you could say fall into the conversation of face of the league, just like you do now. I mean, when you had Montana, you had Kelly, you had Marino, you had Dallas quarterback Troy Aikman. You had some really, really fine quarterbacks during Joe Montana's run, but he was goated because he kept winning, and I think that's what you're dealing with right now. Tom Brady in his era, he was goated because he kept winning, even more so than Peyton Manning, and then now you look at Patrick Mahomes, he's goated because he's winning. Even when he's not winning, he's still winning because they're making it to the Super Bowl. They're the best representation of the teams, in the league, one of the two. So when I look at the NBA, who has established, what team has been able to establish that this is what they are and this is the player that's going to do it? There hasn't been one. There hasn't been one, and that's why LeBron James, in a way, by default, going to the super teams that he was going to, getting it started in Miami with who's tall buddy, with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. I mean, then you go back, you got Love and you got Kyrie Irving in Cleveland. Like,
who's tall buddy?
Who's tall buddy? Thank you. I appreciate the pool too. I just feel like where we're at right now.
By the way, Bosch does kind of get lost in that whole.
He does.
Knicks.
And he was like,
he's a great player.
He was
man.
like the main catalyst for the one year that they won it.
He was great.
If there's no Chris Bosh, they don't win it. They don't win it. But my point is that what franchise and player connected to that franchise has established that type of dominance in the NBA. So in a way, you can't go to guy if their team isn't put like, okay, we talk about the Joker. Like, he does this, he does that, he's the best, he should have been MVP again. He gets MVP. But he's got one championship. Who is dominating when, like, if you ask Michael Jeffrey Jordan what mattered most to him, he'll tell you winning championships mattered the most to him. You can look at stats and all these other things. I mean, what?
A decent golf course and a casino and a couple of rocket ships walking around. I mean, could be.
Dang, where are you going with it?
I'm just saying.
Where are you going with all
this? There are some other things.
I'm just saying, winning was most important to him, not MVPs, not any of these other, distinguished, because those things come when you win. When you win it all, those achievements and those accomplishments automatically follow. So to me, I feel like where we're at right now, no one has really grabbed the Bulls by the horns in the NBA. Not a team, not a player, not a duo of players. I mean, there are some pretty nice duos out there, but none have proven to be a dominant. Like, you had the opportunity with Jalen and Tatum and this year being able to maybe come back, repeat. Now the conversation continues on. That fell apart, fell off of the rails. There's not a team or a player or a set of players that has been dominant enough to be goated and put in the conversation. And the crazy thing is, that's why you continue to hear the conversations about LeBron James, because no one has been able to really offset what LeBron James represents to the NBA just yet. Great stars, young stars. SGA now has the opportunity to make it more of a conversation as it applies to him, but it's not an everyday thing where that's how it takes place. You got to do this for more than one season. So you can set the stage by doing what you do this season, but then now what are you going to do next year? What are you going to do the year after that? What are you going to do the year after that? Because in order to get goated, you got to win, and you got to win more than one time.